Good morning. I am Dr. Kanhucharan Patro. I will discuss with today about the radiology of craniopharyngioma. It is a tumor of childhood, and let's discuss. Craniopharyngioma is mostly located in the suprasellar part. You can see the adjacent structures like a hypothalamus, the optic chiasm, pituitary gland, and these are the adjacent structures and mostly tumor of suprasellar origin. If you see the WHO classification, craniopharyngioma mostly two types: adenomatous craniopharyngioma and papillary craniopharyngioma. They are different entities subdivided into two groups. Craniopharyngioma in 2016 they divided into adenomatous and craniopharyngioma and papillary craniopharyngioma, but in 2021 classification these two are separate entities. So craniopharyngioma relatively benign and WHO grade 1 tumor, mostly sellar and suprasellar lesion. 1.5% of the primary benign tumors can occur anywhere along the infundibulum from the floor of third ventricle to pituitary gland. Two histological subtypes, adenomatous and papillary type. Adenomatous type is more common than papillary. It is a bimodal distribution. Mostly it occurs in 5 to 15 years, and another phase it is more than 40 years above. Craniopharyngioma mostly believed that derived from Rethus cleft. Adenomatous type description, if you see, it consists of reticular epithelial cells that have appearance of reminiscent of the enamel pulp of developing teeth. There may be single or multiple cyst, fluid, thick, oily fluid known as a machine oil or motor oil. Wet keratin nodules are characteristic histological features. Calcification usually present in 90%. Flip side of the adenomatous is papillary, is a subtype is seen in adults. Wet keratin is absent. Cyst do form, but the solid component is more. Calcification is uncommon. If the radiology features depend on the type, though significant minority of the patients papillary they contain adenomatous and parapapillary both. Craniopharyngia primarily suprasellar tumor, around 75%, 25% mostly intrasellar, and other locations like third ventricle, third ventricle, like that. Large tumors can extend in all directions, frequently distorting optic chiasm, compressing the midbrain, causing obstructive hypotrochopalas. Intraventricular subtissue mass without calcification, which is mostly in the papillary subtype. Another location is third ventricle, in particularly common third ventricle. Rare and ectopic locations also found in nasopharynx, posterior fossa, and the extension down the cervical spine. Adenomatous type craniopharyngioma typically have a lobulated contour as a result of being multiple cystic lesion. Solid component present, but often a relatively minor part. Overall calcification is 90% having calcification. There is a rule of 90. 90% are solid cystic, 90% calcify, 90% enhance. They have a prediction being large, extending superiorly into the third ventricle, encasing the vessels, and even adhering to the adjacent structures. So if you see the radiology, near CSF density, typically large and dominant feature present in 95%, 90% of the cases. Solid soft tissue density enhanced in 90%, calcification is 90%, typically stippled and often peripheral in location. It is very typical peripheral in location. So here I am showing one craniopharyngioma. You can see solid and cystic part, but cystic part is more common, though mostly going to the adenomatous type of craniopharyngioma. Another thing you have to, mostly they don't displace the pituitary gland unless it is developed invading the cellar. So if you see, you can see the here pituitary gland is well preserved here, though it is a large tumor, it going mostly superiorly. Another thing is distorted optic chiasm here. You can see, so you they more, if they grow large, distort and compress the optic chiasm. As I told, there is a peripheral calcification. Calcification is typically the peripheral calcification. So it is a signature of craniopharyngioma. Ventricular flow obstruction, when there is a large growth, it can obstruct the fourth ventricular. You can see here the large dilated ventricles here, that is frontal horn and occipital horn in the left lateral ventricle. You can see even big displacement, it displaces the midbrain. Here displaces the midbrain, and usually it is a benign non-malignant. You cannot see this is the hypointense in the diffusion restricted image, so it is no restriction. You can see another form is with some mural nodule. Another is the third ventricular mass. You can see here third ventricular mass, solid, mostly solid component, and displaced optic chiasm and anterior cerebral artery. You can see here. So, but usually it does not involve the cavernous sinus, very rare, and you can see here the cavernous sinus are totally not involved and walled or preserved. Even more large, it is involving the middle and anterior cranial fossa and the lobes. MRS also a typical feature in adventitinous type. You can see lipid peak with broad lipid peak. It is not found in the papillary. And the minor part is the papillary and around 10%. Papillary craniopharyngiomas tend to be more spherical in outline, usually lack of prominent cystic component. Here you will find more solid component rather than cystic component. Calcification is very uncommon. And if you see, as I told, comparing to adventitinous type, you can see here more solid component and the cystic component is very less. But cystic component is more and solid component is less in adventitinous type. Most differential diagnosis is Rethix cyst. So you can see it is a cyst, craniopharyngeal multiple cyst, here single cyst with brightly enhancing the cyst wall. So you can see here, and this is called large dot sign or excellent dot sign. So Rethix cyst is a most common differential diagnosis, but it is a single cyst with enhancing wall, no solid component, no calcification. Another is the suprasellar teratoma. Solid component is more enhanced and cystic lesion. In summary, papillary type of is less common, more in adults, minimal or no cyst, but calcification, no calcification, but more component is solid. Adventitinous is more multiple amount of cyst than solid and peripheral calcification is common. So differential diagnosis Rethix cyst is from the adventitinous from as a Rethix cyst, a single cyst, but adventitinous is a multiple cyst with small solid component. Thank you very much. I pray God give them good life and early diagnosis of those are suffering from the craniopharyngiomas and better childhood. Thank you very much.